Welcome anyone to the Gaming Chamber podcast. I'm your host, 2B to Kill You, for episode 24. And man, this week we have a super packed episode of discussions. Just monster. I don't think we've had the kind of topics or just the with the gravitas that they have or since the Xbox showcase, maybe. I don't know. Joining me this week, only one thorn in my side. Devin, say what's up.
Sup?
So, yeah, like I said, a giant just episode today that we're going to have with what is just transpired over the last week of the gaming industry. So I don't know, actually. Usually we do like what we're playing this week. Do you want to just get into these things cuz there's a lot to talk about? Or do you want to maybe go through real quick what you've been playing, Devin?
I can just say real quick. I played some Alan Wake. I haven't got too far in that, and then playing a little bit. There's that Flintlock,
That
Souls-like
Flintlock,
game that's on
yeah.
Game Pass.
Oh, that's right. It is on Game Pass. I should probably check that out.
Yeah, it's not bad so far.
And for me, just more Dead Rising. Although I'm now playing Dead Rising 2, not Dead Rising 1. Just want to go through the series before they do the which I think it's in September, right? The remake.
September for the digital release, and then December for physical. I'm pretty sure.
All right. And since it's the two of us, that's a very quick segment. Because like I said, I kind of wanted to get to right into the discussion topics because at least two of them. The last two we'll talk about are definitely the biggest ones. But there's even some other ones that are medium sized and then a couple smaller things. So let's go ahead and get through the smaller stuff, I guess, first. So the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games. This one's gonna be quick because I mean, I'm assuming you've never really played any of the Mario and Sonic games, Devin?
Yeah, can't say that I have.
So they're gonna be ending soon. The Olympics are just not gonna renew the contract or something because they want to pursue esports and NFTs or something like that. It's very stupid. We'll say. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, it's like NFTs. I thought everyone knew those were fucking dead.
Oh no, they're probably going to be around for a while because I mean they're just a way for companies to try and look at we can make some money. Companies are always going to look at the short. I don't think they look at long term. They always look at short term. NFTs are good for short term stuff. I think to try and make money. But yeah, I think it's stupid. I don't know. There's not much I can add to that except for I think it's dumb.
Yeah, it seems like can't you have both? You know?
Yeah, that is weird that they wouldn't want to have Nintendo and Sega keep making games. You could still
do you really think the market share would take away if you're doing? I don't know. Seems like it gets to just do both, but
yeah. Oh well. Rest in peace, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Is that what it was called?
yeah.
um, I'm looking through what I would like for us to get through. This story on Twitch. I don't think we have too much to talk about with it as well. The Twitch CEO, I'm not remembering his name right now. Let me see. Dan Clancy. He just recently announced that the company remains unprofitable, and insiders at Twitch are worried about the brand's future. Which, I mean, I think we've talked about this before. I've said it before. and I'll say it again, like Twitch is not like it's not a great platform. They don't seem to moderate correctly, and they do stupid shit that makes creators not want to stay with the platform. Like remember when they were gonna do like a new monetization, right? Like there something I forgot, or sharing ad revenue. I forget. Ooh, excuse me. I forget exactly what it was, but I mean, how many times have we probably have talked about Twitch within the past, whatever amount of months, and it's been something where it's like they're getting a negative backlash, right?
Yeah. And yeah. I mean, if they're still not making money, like, how the fuck are they still open, you know?
I mean, it's owned by Amazon, so Amazon is
Yeah, there
probably
you go.
just looking at it. I think the thing is, the problem with Twitch is that you're competing with Kick, who just
YouTube.
allows. Well, yeah. Well, I was gonna get to that, but like you're competing with Kick, who kind of just allows whatever. So you're gonna get a lot of people who will watch, streamers on Kick because they want to see drama or whatever, and then they're competing with YouTube, which you know, YouTube's bigger than God, you know. So like, I mean, Google owns YouTube.
Yeah.
It's hard to compete with that. I mean, maybe Twitch could compete if they were to expand a little more. Maybe they need to go into like, you can just upload videos like you can to YouTube or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's just, when your platform is specific to one thing and a lot of people can't seem to break through because of certain things, or you implement certain policies that are going to be clearly like, I don't know how they don't see it's going to be, you know that there wouldn't be a huge backlash to it or whatever. Eventually, probably you lose steam, and I don't know. I mean, I don't think Twitch is going anywhere anytime soon, but I could see where like at some point maybe Twitch is gone. So I don't know. It's a it's a what do you call it? I can't think of the word right now, but we're living in a time right now where things like this can be volatile, and you know companies like that have to be careful how they navigate everything. But yeah, I don't know. Do you have
Hmm.
what are you have more to say? You have a lot to say or whatever?
No, I mean, it's pretty much like, I mean, just kind of like not even kind of related to Twitch. I saw like someone who was on Twitch, Dr. Disrespect, like he's like tweeted like just
Oh
speaking like this is
God,
kind of like the
yeah.
shit posting underneath comments. Like he tweeted like I'm back or whatever,
No,
or
no.
like no, it was like the checkers
It
and
was a
chess
picture.
thing, and people
Yeah,
were
it
like,
was a picture of him
yeah,
playing chess. Like he had chess
and
pieces in front of him
and
and
like
checkers in
he
front of
set
him.
himself up, and he set himself up so bad because people were just like, "Is this you playing against the minor while you playing
Yeah.
chess?" I
Like
was like,
I see what he was trying to do, like what he was trying to say or whatever.
yeah, like
Like
everyone
I'm
else is
playing
playing
chess. Yeah.
chess, and yeah, it's like, dude, that's like the most tried out like thing ever. Like I'm over here playing chess and you're playing checkers.
Oh my
Like,
God, I gotta find the picture of like someone did it from like, because the picture it shows like whoever it's supposed to be someone looking at him while he's with the chess pieces, and someone edit or made a picture where it's from his point of view and he's looking at a kid. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's hilarious. There was someone else like made like another edit of it, or a version of that picture where it's like he's playing with Ava Chris Tyson, which if you don't know was an associate of Mr. Beast, the biggest fucking
yeah,
like YouTuber on the planet right now, whatever. And allegations of the same. Well, not even allegations, but like, I mean, yeah, allegations, but a lot of other shit has come out of basically the same thing, that Ava Chris Tyson's a pedophile. Although this shit was a lot worse than the Doctor Disrespect stuff. Like
Yeah.
this was a lot worse. So yeah, this shit is hilarious to me. Like that, yeah. When he tweeted that out, I was like, oh, this is gonna go so well. This is gonna go so well.
Yeah.
He did reply to a couple people.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, dude, you just look like a petulant child.
I mean, I see what he's doing, because like one of them was like, oh, poor little woke boy, something this and that. He's trying. I think I said this when we had talked about him. What, a month and a half ago, whatever. I don't remember how long ago. Was time is like a river and it flows too quickly. When he comes, like I knew he was gonna make a comeback, and he's gonna make a comeback. He'll probably be able to be on Kick, and Kick will be like, yeah, fuck it, whatever. But he's going to play like the villain role. He's gonna lean into it. And
Yeah, well, I love how like he's like, oh, woke boy is doing this or whatever. Like, I'm not like, it's like, is it woke to not be a pedophile? Like, and to not talk to underage, like, call me like, it's like, tell me I'm woke if I don't want to talk to a 17-year-old. Like, if that's what's gonna come consider me woke, like, then I'm the most woke person in the world. 'Cause I'm like, I'm not talking to minors. Like, I don't know. I just find that weird to be like, the woke mob is trying to get me. Like, dude, you got caught messaging a 17-year-old. Yes, you didn't actually do anything with them, but it's still creepy as
we
shit.
don't know if the person was 17. That's like the
It's been
speculation.
confirmed that
Oh, it
they're
has been?
17.
Oh,
Yeah.
I swear haven't seen that. If there was, okay. I mean, yeah, it's still obviously just.
It's like, okay, like you can't be like the woke mob is trying to get me. It's like, no, we just don't really like people that are pedophiles. Like, that's one thing. Like, prisoner, like you'll have like the worst people in the world, but if someone comes into a prison and they find out they like, I know this, like a 17-year-old's not a kid, but if someone finds out someone's touching kids, everyone in the prison fucking hates them. If like that can even be agreed upon in society, it's like, it's not the woke mob that's trying to fucking get you, dude. It's, I don't know, it's just dumb to be like the woke mob. It's not the woke mob. It's
just
people with some
well, I mean,
sense of decency.
the reason he's clearly doing that is because if you look at like who's on his side
I
compared to
know he's
who's
trying to
against
get
him.
the Trump MAGA side in
Well, I
comparison.
mean, like that makes sense because like it was even the opposite for like when like the Ava Chris Tyson stuff was coming out. Like you look at the different reactions. Obviously, like when when it came to Doctor Disrespect, you have people like the Quartering, who's more right leaning or right wing or whatever, saying like, "Oh, we need to get his side of it, whatever this is that." But then you see people like Pokimane, who was just like, "Oh, he's disgusting. He's a creepy pervert. This, and that." And then when the Chris Tyson stuff was coming out, of course, the Quartering right away like, "This is disgusting," and this and that. This person, that's transgenders for you, people with mental disabilities. And then Pokimane was just like, "Wow, this is like kind of like, yeah, not good." Like that's just how it is when it comes to like whose side you're on or whatever. They're gonna have different like reactions. So he's clearly just playing into the people who are
I
obviously
don't.
not gonna.
Yeah, it's like, but it's like, I don't care if you're transgender or you're straight or whatever. You
Don't
should
talk
not
to
be talking to any.
kids.
You shouldn't be talking to
Don't
kids.
talk
Like,
to minors. Yeah,
yeah,
at least
like
not like that.
I don't care. I don't care who you are. Like, yeah, you should be like, you should be canceled or whatever. Like, put in jail. Like, yes, it's like, it's not cool. Like, I just don't understand. Like why people, like, it's not. It shouldn't be a left, or it shouldn't be a woke. It shouldn't be any of these things. It should just be a, this ain't cool. Like, stop fucking doing this. Like, people need to stop being weird.
I
And if
mean,
you do think it's cool, like,
that's
it's
the
not
way of the
a,
world now. That's the
you
way,
know.
or like the landscape of like whatever. Like, I mean, shit. We had we had a former president, current, you know, guy running for presidency, almost get assassinated. And depending on which side you were on, quote unquote, it was either like, holy fuck, somebody tried to kill him, and this is that. Compared to if you were on the other side, like, oh, damn, why did he miss? Oh, of course, now the gun nuts can't shoot a gun and stuff. Like, that's just how it is nowadays. There's no in between anymore, it seems like.
There's no in between and like common sense on stuff. It's frustrating.
Yeah. No, it's just, yeah. That's why I will always maintain that everything is stupid. And
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, yeah, we're getting too political with this. Let's go ahead and move to the next thing. Let's move to a happier topic. Uh, fuck, I didn't even see the full teaser actually. Darksiders. THQ Nordic had like a was a showcase, right? I don't know
Yeah.
what they showed. I didn't actually watch it because I'm not big into THQ Nordic stuff. What I don't even know what they really released except for Darksiders, which is they teased. I think it's a new game.
Yeah. It's a new
So
game.
yeah, uh, I didn't see this until you had messaged us in the Discord. Me and JJ or whatever put the message. Right, you were the one. Yeah, I'm looking now.
Mm-hmm.
New Darksiders game teased.
I messaged it.
Yeah, like, oh my god, when we were talking about the uh, Dead Rising remake, I was like, okay, now I got to play through all the Dead Rising games. Now I got to play through all the Darksiders games. Like, I very much enjoy the Dark. I haven't played Darksiders 3, but I played 1 and 2, and then we didn't finish it actually. But remember we played Darksiders Genesis?
Yeah, we never finished that one.
I don't know why we didn't finish it. Maybe something came out.
It wasn't that good. It wasn't that good either.
Uh, I didn't mind it. I liked it enough. Um,
Yeah.
but no, I like the Darksiders games. They are. It is a weird like series because if you actually play them, like,
None of them play that.
yeah,
They're all different.
yeah, like Darksiders 1 is just straight up like hack and slash
It's a straight up
game.
like it's kind of like Legend of Zelda.
No.
Like I feel
That's Darksiders 2. Darksiders 2 is Legend of Zelda because it's open world with like, yeah, the quests and everything. Darksiders
yeah.
1
I mean,
is linear and hack and slash. There is some like kind of side questy stuff, but not really.
yeah.
That one's
I
more
guess
like,
you're right.
yeah, that one's more like straight up just like, oh, Devil May Cry, but you're playing as one of the four horsemen.
You're right. And
Yeah.
Darksiders 3 is a legit
It's like
Souls clone.
it's like Souls, yeah. It's like a Dark Souls clone. Like, it's a very weird series. They didn't like stick to one formula, but it has like they have been made. Well, no, I don't know if I think Darksiders Genesis is a different company, but they've been made by the same people. Like, so I know Darksiders 1 and 2 was Vigil Games before THQ shut down, and then Vigil Games was dissolved, and the Darksiders franchise was, sold off or whatever. Nordic pretty much bought up everything. Back when they were just called Nordic. Now they're called THQ Nordic because they're trying to bring back that name, or brought back that name. But the company that's making the games now, Gunfire Games, it's made up of all people who worked at Vigil Games, except for I think like Joe Madura or whatever, the artist who, like, the art in the games is him. Like, if you look at, fuck, what was the name of that game? There's like this RPG. It is on the Xbox, but I don't remember what it's called. It looks straight up like you could have mistaken it for like a Darksiders game. Um, so I mean, I'm excited because, yeah, it's Gunfire Games. Like, they obviously, yeah, like, it'd be different if it was a different, if it was a different company making it, but it's the same people who've been making the Darksiders games, making the newest Darksiders. Now I don't know. I'm curious. Like, do you think they're gonna go with the fourth horseman that was in Darksiders Genesis? But that was more of a co-op game because that one had war. Although, what did they call him?
can't remember now, but I'm wondering like what the fuck it's gonna play like, you know? Like what play style are they gonna go with?
Well, if it is
You know, is it
that
gonna be
one,
like
the one with guns, maybe they might try to make it more third
yeah,
person
I'm hoping
shooter. Yeah.
yeah, like I'm hoping it's third. I hope they go back to third person. I'd rather them not make another. Like they said, the top down one was fine. I just feel like it didn't like you said. I don't think it was bad. Like it just didn't have like the hook to like keep me wanting to play more. So hopefully we get back to like even if it's just like a Souls clone like the third one was. Like that'd be fine.
So I do remember them like years ago when THQ shut down and Vigil Games was dissolved, and it looked like, well, that's it. We're never getting another Darksiders game after part two or after two. Like the people who made the games, like I don't remember the actual director or the guy who created the series or whatever. They had talked about like that eventually they wanted to do a four-player co-op game where everyone plays as the entire stable of horsemen. So I'm wondering if maybe this is it. This is the game that they've been building toward, so to speak.
Like their Avengers Endgame
Yeah, something like that. I mean, like,
or just the Avengers now.
because I mean, yeah, we have, there's obviously the Game of War. That's the first one. Death was the second one. I think Fury was what they gave the one for three. It's Strife, I
Yeah.
believe, for Darksiders Genesis. You play as Strife, the one that uses guns. I That's another thing. I don't understand why they don't go with the actual like biblical names for the other two. They have War and Death. That's yeah, but it's what Famine and Pestilence were the other ones. I don't know why they didn't use them like that. They went with War, Death, Strife, and Fury. So it's kind of a weird. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just the fourth horseman that wasn't in a mainline game, Strife, or maybe they are. They're going. They're finally giving us that co-op game. I don't know. All I know is I can't wait to play it, and now I gotta. After the Dead Rising games, I have to do a playthrough of the Darksiders games because I do own them. Maybe not three. I don't think I own three, so I probably have to buy that one.
Didn't I buy 3? I'm gonna
It's
go check.
possible. It's possible you did.
Let's go. Full library. Owned A to Z. Here we go. We're going down. It looks like I have it.
Oh, maybe you did. Okay. Well,
It's got available to download on all of them. So, Darksiders Genesis 2, 3, and the War Mastered Edition.
what about the second? Well, you said two, huh? Yeah. But
Yeah,
like
it goes because it's weird because in order it goes Genesis, Darksiders 2, Darksiders 3, and then Darksiders War Mastered.
oh, what is it? Definitive. That's what they called it. The
Yeah.
definitive. Oh man. I the THQ Nordic when because like they did those or they did at least one right remake of fuck, what was that game called? Red Faction. Remember it was Gorilla, right? Red Faction Gorilla remastered because the game is set like on Mars. They had to have done
Yeah.
it with other games too, where they try to like put some kind of pun or some shit in the. It's so fucking dumb. I love it though. You you can tell that they're trying to have fun with it. It is kind of stupid, but it's all good. Definitive War Master, hilarious. I don't know. Yeah, you got more about excitement for the next Darksiders game?
No, I just like I said, I want them to hopefully like I don't want it to be another top-down shooter. If it does go the way of a four-person game, it'd be
Mm,
cool. Or if it's just a first-person
no, because
or not a first, but a third person.
I think this is gonna be a full on like AAA game or
That's
like
kind of
because I want to say this is what they ended their showcase with, a tease for this game. So I mean, for it to just be like, oh, it's just gonna be like Darksiders Genesis Part 2 or whatever, doesn't make sense to me. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong, but we will see. That game is obviously not coming out for a while. So, all right. All right. We got a couple of these medium-sized ones now. Then we'll get to these the big ones. But this one, oh man, this one's a crazy one. So, San Diego Comic Con just recently happened. Uh, there was a human trafficking bust that took place there. Uh, 14 people were arrested, and they rescued 10 people. It says right here, 10 individuals were rescued. Uh, Apparently, the people that were arrested were not actual like any of the criminals that were doing the human trafficking. There were people there who were supposed to purchase the people apparently. Um, Whether that was for sex or something, or they were, I don't know. That's the Yeah. I don't know, man. This is a very crazy thing that San Diego Comic Con happens every year, and oh yeah, there's a human trafficking arrests made or whatever. Just fucking, it's just fucking wild to me that in our geek sphere, yeah, something like this can happen. Or yeah, I don't know. What's your take on all that? Just wow.
yeah. I mean, I think this stuff is just they just pick big crowds, like big crowds and big events, because then you can kind of blend in more. So, um, that's just what historically these things these people use these type of events for. So it's not shocking. It's sad, but it's not shocking, unfortunately.
I mean, yeah, that was one of the things that was one of the podcasts or something or someone's video I was watching when they were talking about it, that it makes sense. It's, I There's tens of thousands of people at San Diego Comic Con. Easy to
Hmm.
maneuver through that and just do something illegal. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I actually have much more to add on to that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
there's
just
not really much.
fucking nuts.
It's just, yeah, it's just sad and dumb. Like that, just like the political thing. It's just sad and dumb. Like this is just something that just we have to fucking deal with.
Yeah, yeah, you're probably yeah, you're right. No, not probably. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. Let's just move to the next thing. Microsoft recently their earnings report came out. Uh, this is for all of Microsoft, not necessarily just uh Xbox. Um, but their revenue was 64 billion, up 15%. Their income, I don't understand revenue and net income, so uh, you're gonna have to excuse my ignorance on this. But their net income was 22 billion, up 10%. The gaming revenue was up 44%. That was thanks to their acquisition of Activision. That it went up 44%. The Xbox content and services revenue up 61%. Their Windows revenue up 7%. Devices revenue down 11%. LinkedIn, blah blah blah. Now here's the big one that a lot of people have been talking about, which
Can we fucking cancel LinkedIn? That'd be nice.
which to me makes sense and is not as doom and gloom as a lot of people. Their Xbox hardware revenue was down 42% from this time last year, whatever it was, or whatever it is. Now, I think this makes sense. I mean, like, these consoles are not selling as quickly as, like, the previous generations. And that's, I mean, when you really look at, like, the killer apps for these consoles, what is there? You know what I mean? Like, a lot of the games that you can play on PS5, you can play on the PS4. Or there just hasn't been that one, like, I have to buy a console, one of these consoles for this game specifically. Um, but Xbox is obviously, you know, it's not as popular as PlayStation. It wasn't going to sell as well. And I, you know, they haven't been pushing their consoles as hard because they've been moving toward like cloud streaming and everything. Their Game Pass service, things like that. They are like obviously they want to sell consoles. They do advertise them and everything. But do you like? Have you seen Microsoft push to sell their consoles uh, like harder than like previous generations, or does it seem like they're more concerned with selling Game Pass?
They're definitely more concerned with selling Game Pass. Well, also because it's like they don't they care about having these like Game Pass available to multiple ways. So someone on the PC, that's someone that they didn't have a console to, and like it's I don't know how many times like it needs to be said to people, but like Xbox and PlayStation, they don't make shit off of consoles. Like they sell these things essentially at cost to get people in to make money on the sales of the games. So if they can cut out that middleman, it doesn't really matter. So like they're counting a person on their service as someone who is on a PC, who now is on a Fire Stick, or like the Amazon devices. Like those are customers of theirs. Like they don't. That's someone that they didn't have to make a console for, and what make $5 off a fucking console, because that's honestly what they make. Like they don't make shit off these things.
Also,
Like
too, the thing is, this is revenue. I don't think it's when it's saying that it's down. What was it, 42%, right? I think it was how much money the consoles made, and there has been reports that the Series S is selling more units. They're selling more units of the Series S than they are of the Series X. So, if their revenue for consoles is down, that makes sense because one sells for 350, one sells for 550. Like,
mm-hmm.
what do you think people are going to want to buy more? The cheaper product. And like a lot of people want to say like, oh, but the Series S isn't as powerful. Like that's online social media stuff that people care about. Like the hardcore, like casual gamers are not going to give a fuck. They just want the console.
I think, yeah, especially all these people, like these NCAA people that like wanted to get, like they waited 10 years to buy a game. I saw quite a few people actually go out and just buy a Series S,
To play NCAA,
um,
yeah.
just to play NCAA. Like that's all they wanted to play, and they just downloaded it and bought it off that, because there are the sports gamers out there that's all they want to play, and
It's
that's
just the yeah.
fine.
Well, I mean, like, see, that's why the Activision acquisition was smart because you literally have the people who just they play Madden, Call of Duty, NBA. I guess it's not called
FIFA,
FIFA anymore. It's called something else or whatever, or FIFA, whatever.
football club.
Football, I don't know. That literally that's all they play. And NCAA was so popular, yeah, and it hadn't been around in so long. So that yeah, like if they can, if part of their strategy is like, hey, you can play Call of Duty here on Game Pass, like that's gonna sell. That's gonna sell a lot of Game Pass and maybe even Series S consoles to people who'll be like, well, I could just have Game Pass to play Call of Duty and then I'll buy Madden. And that's it. They're just literally in their head thinking like, yeah, this is it. I don't need to worry about anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like it makes sense that their console revenue is down, their hardware revenue is down. They are not they're they're selling a console that's cheaper and it's all about Game Pass. Game Pass,
And
Game
eventually
Pass, Game
you're and
Pass.
that's and eventually you're gonna reach a tipping point to where like I mean like once a console generation has run for long enough and like yeah they're introducing new consoles but those just have new memory like you're not gonna get like people to like we're not gonna go out and buy new Xboxes until like there's a new generation like that's just like so like eventually you're gonna reach this tipping point where you're just gonna it's gonna either plateau or it's gonna decline because it's a good thing you've got consoles in people's hands and they don't need to go and buy another one and that's a good thing like it's a good thing we don't have to buy more and more of these like we don't have red rings we're not adding to console revenue because we have to buy a new console because it's broken like we're at a good point where like everyone's got their consoles like it's just hardware sales and like they've done this whole thing too like I mean like I feel like COVID and like 2020 and like 2021 kind of put like because everyone was stuck in their house. So like it's really dumb to compare sales to 20 and like even to early 2022 because like people were stuck in their fucking house. Like of course console sales are going up. People were just like
I have nothing to do. I'm gonna just buy a
I have
console.
nothing to do. I need to do something. Like
Yeah, I
so it's
mean,
dumb to be like
yeah, and that was. I mean, like that's why we're kind of stuck, or not stuck, but that's why we're in the midst of this. Like, I mean, we're gonna get to it. There was a big one this past week or whatever. That's why we're like in the midst of like all these like layoffs in the gaming industry too, because yeah, like during that, that
everyone was
two,
hiring because they were like, oh shit, like everyone wants more video
yeah,
games, and then
and
they're
then
like,
as
oh,
soon
let's
as
make
people
live
could go
service
out,
games.
yeah,
Like no one's like,
yeah, that too. But as soon as people could like, okay, now I could go ahead and go out and go to the movies and go eat at a restaurant, this is that, without having to
mm,
like whatever, like there was no need to buy video games for those people. Because yeah, I even knew people who are not video game players who were like asking me like, hey, how much is the Xbox? How much is the PlayStation? How much do you know where I could find one? Because they just needed something to do. So yeah,
yeah. So
that
it's
like made, what's the word? Not expectations, but like, yeah, like what people think are the amount that they're supposed to be making, or the sales that they're supposed to be like getting or whatever. That was so inflated during those like really 3 years, not even 2 years. It was like a 3 year period. So basically from like 2020 to 2023. So yeah,
I know. So it's just like you can't like it's like you guys are like measuring success on like a time where there's never been a time like this where people were essentially like I mean not for I mean like but it's just like there was like that places weren't open so it's just like we got to find something to do. It's like what are you gonna do? I'm gonna game with my buddies. And it's just like that's just
yeah,
what there was to do. So like and then yeah now companies are laying off people because there's not many people playing video games anymore. It's like well yeah like the like people have choice again. Like I can go watch Deadpool and Wolverine instead of just playing video games at
yeah.
home. So
So
it's
it
just
makes
like
sense. Yeah, all this to say, it makes sense that like stuff like that is like
I guarantee Sony sales are gonna be down just because it's just like well, hey,
mm,
there's not as much hardware coming out and or not as much software. Like you don't have like those AAA first play party titles. And again, like bunch of people were buying and like you couldn't even keep consoles in stock during like COVID. Like
now
those
you
things
could
were
go out.
selling like
Yeah, now I could go to
now
the
you
Target that's just down the
any
street from my
store,
house, and yeah,
any
and
store.
they're
You
right
can
there.
just
Yeah,
you can walk in any store and be like, hey, can I get a PlayStation 5? They'll be like, yeah, like do you want 5? Because we have 500.
yeah. I
It's
remember I
like,
got my Xbox Series X. I spent fucking, I think, an extra $50 because I couldn't find one, so I had to go get one from a scalper, and that was it. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'm spending extra money.
yeah,
But yeah, it's just yeah. And like I said, I just find it ridiculous that there's so much doom and gloom I mean, obviously we know
Well,
why,
it's
but
just yeah, it's no one wants to have like a I don't know, like an analytical discussion and look at factors of like why things are happening. It's always just like, oh, this is happening because Xbox sucks, or is it happening like because of socioeconomic factors in the world that are fucking changing? Probably the latter, especially if you look at just everything around the world. I mean, like the fucking stock market, like everyone is expecting a recession to happen. Like I don't know if you pay attention to like the stock market, but
oh
like
yeah, I do.
fucking
It's
yeah, the stock
been
market just fucking like everything big like crypto's crashing. Everything is going way down. Like a week ago, Bitcoin was like back at $70,000 almost. Like it was like just a sliver under that. Now it's at 53,000. Like basically a $16,000 dip in that, and just like
mm.
stock market in general. Like let me go to like it's just
No,
crazy how
no,
much it's
yeah,
gone
like
down.
there's
Just
no a
even a
lot of
couple days
stuff is
ago, it's down. It's down like 7%. Like one of my, like or not, maybe not that much, but
no. I remember like it was a few months ago, like the stock market like had dropped so drastically that like there was like a panic almost, and people were
yeah,
like,
but no,
"Oh
it's like like right now, like it's crazy.
no, no, yeah, it like went back up, but it's dropping
Yeah,
again, right?"
yeah, it's crazy low again.
Yeah,
Like everything's just like everyone's like just taking money out. Like I think it was like almost $2 trillion was lost in the stock market like on Thursday or Friday.
yeah,
And
and
I'm
then
just
like,
like, Jesus
but then
Christ,
you
like
have the
people
people
like
like you and I who, well, no, I know you have some stock, right? So, but like obviously the people who quote unquote it doesn't affect, like the normal people like us, like it hurts us in that like that's happening to all the businesses and whatever, but like they're raising prices on stuff still. Everything like things are going up, and we don't have enough money to spend. So like yeah, it's just a lot of those factors that yeah, it's not gonna. I mean yeah,
yeah.
whether like one of those like recessions happen where maybe not like a recession. I mean kind of like the Great Depression back in what like 100 years ago, whatever it was. Whether that happens or not, I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be that bad, but I mean like I don't know, man. Like we've been alive for I mean you've been alive since the first Great Depression.
like you lived through that first one, didn't you?
Yeah, I
Oh
think
man.
you were there, right? I mean FDR was a president. Like you were chilling, right? Right?
Oh, Frankie? Yeah, good old Frankie. Yeah.
um but no, it's like in our lifetime, I mean like are you a millennial technically? Or are
I
you like
don't
a
know.
Gen X?
No, I think I'm a
What year were
millennial.
you born?
1986. I think I'm
Oh
considered
yeah,
a
you're a
millennial
millennial.
because it's
Yeah,
the what
80 I think
1980.
like 80 I think it's 81 to like
I thought it was
94
84. I thought it was 84.
maybe. But anyways, yeah, I mean like I don't know, we had to live through our parents fucking crashed the housing market in like the late 2000s, and then we've had COVID, and then it's like we've had a couple recessions in there, and we're having like probably another one right now. It's like, dude, can we get a goddamn break? Like shit.
I don't know
Like
where I saw this recently. I know I saw this, but I don't remember what I was watching. But you're bringing up something that like it reminded me of a tweet where it's like I'm tired of living through like history or
unprecedented
something.
times.
Yeah, unprecedented
Like I'm
times. Yeah, but
trying to live
like
in precedented times.
yeah, but like everyone thinks that when like the time that they are alive are unprecedented times because obviously before we were born, like there was stuff that happened that when you look back, like holy shit, that was happening. You have fucking yeah, the Great Depression, World War I, World War II, the peace and love era of the '60s, Vietnam War, the Korean War, the Cold War, just all this. different shit. That there's always going to be like these like big events fucking happening.
I know, but can we just not? Can we just
No,
chill
that's what
for
I'm
a little
saying. No,
bit?
we're never gonna be in a chill time. Like, dude, like look, just even in the past like 25 years, look at the kinds of shit that we've had. Like that I can just name off like we had the Y2K scare, 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Presidential attempted assassination.
an attempted presidential assassination happened what less than a month ago, or whatever it was.
Feels like it was a year at this
COVID,
point.
but like COVID wasn't the first like big like huge scare like that.
Well, yeah,
We've
we had
had
bird flu.
bird flu, fucking what was the one, swine flu or whatever. Like we always
Yeah,
have a new disease coming out. Fucking remember? Oh
the
wait,
new
maybe
firmware update on the
yeah.
disease.
I don't think this might have been the 90s. Maybe it was the early 2000s. But I remember when there was the flesh-eating bacteria scare. Like we always have something. There's always something. There's
But can we just not though?
yeah,
That's what I'm
no.
saying. Like, can we just not? Can we just chill?
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. It ain't happening.
Can we just vibe for a little bit? Man, bro. Can we just vibe?
Oh my god. Shit. I mean, how many wars have we fucking like been alive for? That
Well, I think in '91 when I was born, I think that was the first
was the
Gulf War
Gulf
started
War.
then.
That was the Gulf War.
So yeah,
Yeah.
for sure you've been like I don't know when it started, but like I don't know how early in the year, but like so. I mean, I was definitely alive during part of it, but I'm pretty sure that was '91. Then you had the other one, obviously the other like 9/11. Then we went over there after that. So
But I'm not even talking about just America. I'm talking about like, we have the
oh
Ukraine
well,
Russian shit going on right now. Like that's what I'm talking about. Like there's just always these like, damn, look what's happening. I the thing is, I think what
well,
it
there's so
is.
many
Go
like
ahead.
the apartheid and all that stuff that goes on in
Oh man.
Africa too. Like there's all that junk that's going. I have like no idea what's going on down there. Like so it's just like there's all that shit going on down there. You have all those. So it's just like who knows? Like so yeah. Like I don't know how many fucking wars there've been.
No, but what I was gonna say, I think the thing that makes everyone feel like, oh, we're going through, that whole unprecedented times thing, or whatever, that like this is even bigger than, or not bigger, but like it's been more like frequent than like in years past. I think it's just social media that amplifies that
Yeah.
because everyone talks about it. Like I remember, things like 9/11 when that happened. Yeah, it was talked about on the news and people talked about it, but like it wasn't like 24/7 in people's minds like that. It would be like fuck, we'd think about it again and just oh shit, fuck that happened. But like man, just anything happens and boom, Twitter's just like holy fuck. You get like a million, well, more than a million. You get like millions of people who are like, dude, did you just see this happen? Like, yeah, I think that's what makes it seem like it's like all these events that have happened. Maybe that's what it makes it seem like it's bigger than what it actually is. It's just that now you have millions of people if you're on social media. It's not just Twitter, it's Instagram, Facebook, you know, fuck Snapchat, whatever it is. Like you have all these people who are just gonna talk about it and amplify it and everything. It's just yeah, I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah, you might be right.
Because like I said, even just take like diseases, or whatever. Like COVID wasn't the first time. I mean, that was like the biggest so far that we've had where we had to shut down everything. But like, yeah, we've had the like, yeah, West Nile virus, swine flu and all that other shit. Like we've had a lot of stuff. Like I said, the flesh-eating fucking bacteria, fucking crazy ass shit like that. I
I
don't
remember
know.
hearing about that, and I was just like, back in the day, I remember hearing about that back in the day. I was like, fuck, dude, am I just like randomly gonna like lose my skin?
Oh, I know, right?
Like how? Because like back before, like I mean, like I don't know, like I don't know, like when you're dumb and you're a kid, you're just like, shit, man, like I'm gonna die, like just randomly. Like, yeah, I don't know how diseases work. Like I'm just gonna die.
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. It's obviously it's even. I mean, like that's the thing. Even like COVID, I don't think we needed to shut down like that. I think it just got amplified because of media and social media like that, like in the news. But like, I don't know how many people you know. Like when I'm pretty sure you knew people that got COVID. How many people you know got COVID and it was like super serious?
My aunt and uncle both went to the hospital, so two.
Yeah, I didn't know anybody like at all. I knew people that got it, but even the people that got COVID, they didn't seem like they were like super sick or anything like that. Actually, you know what? I think I had an uncle who passed away, maybe due to complications, but he had diabetes and all this stuff. I think it was just gonna take him anyway.
Yeah, that was like the thing. It's like, it wasn't really that big of a deal for. I'm surprised I didn't take you. I mean, being fucking 95 years old, but it was
Actually,
just a big
no.
deal.
Actually, no. Apparently, I was more at risk than other people because of my bronchitis.
Yeah, it's fine. Surprised I didn't take you.
I keep saying this. I'm gonna outlive like everyone because I don't want to. I don't want to live forever. I hate.
You die tomorrow. You're like I'm like like this freezing cold take. I'm gonna outlive everybody, and then just like dies
I'm
tomorrow.
gonna tell you right now. If I die tomorrow, I'm gonna be the happiest man in the world. I'm gonna be like, fucking finally. Now I can sleep. Okay, let's just move on because we're moving way past video games right now.
Shut
Uh,
up.
huh? Oh my god. We're gonna say that with the Xbox in the Xbox Dome right now. Uh, Avowed.
You're giving me dome?
Oh my god. All right, so Avowed. I think this is the first time they've given an actual release date, but it's been quote unquote delayed. To 2025. It's coming out in what is it, February 18th? I believe was the release date. Why do I not have the tweet pulled up?
Mhm.
I apparently don't have the tweet pulled up at Xbox. February 18th. I remember that date. So February 18th is the official release date for Avowed. When Xbox put out their release, it was like something to the effect of like, "Hey, we have so much releasing at the end of the year. We're going to give this some breathing room," which to me makes sense. Like I've been seeing people online saying like that this is stupid. It's just more Xbox doom and gloom. Xbox is dying, or like, oh look at that, they still don't have anything. But when you look at like what's supposed to release this year, it makes sense, you know, to a certain degree. I mean, they have Call of Duty coming out. That's their like game. That's their title. It's not just like, oh, it's just Activision. Like that is something that Xbox is going to be releasing. Um, they have the Indiana Jones game that's supposed to come out this year. There's a game, what, Towerborn. There's a Starfield DLC. There's that Age of Mythologies remastered. They're releasing stuff. So something had to give. Something had to get pushed back. Avowed was the one, and I don't know. Was this something I put in the Discord, or was I maybe talking to put it out as a tweet? I don't remember. It makes sense that it would be Avowed that gets the delay, because I think Indiana Jones, that's a known IP, whatever. Call of Duty, obviously, it's Call of Duty. Starfield DLC is just an add-on, things like that. But Avowed is the thing that's like it's coming from, even though it's set in the Pillars of Eternity universe. For all intents and purposes, it's a new franchise. So I think you want to give that space, even give it the little extra time for extra polish, so that way it comes out and hopefully becomes a hit, and you can keep making more games in that quote unquote new series. So to me, this makes the most sense. Sucks. I do want to play that game. I really did want to play it as soon as possible, but hey, we're gonna have to wait a little longer. What can you do?
You gonna buy it for me?
I mean, I don't need to buy it. I have Game Pass.
No, I want you to buy it for me.
I mean, if there's like a special edition, I know I'm gonna. I hope they keep doing it like they're doing with. Because they did that with. Oh my God, why am I forgetting the name of that game from Tango? The rhythm action game.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. They did it with Hi-Fi Rush. They're doing it with Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, where you just pay like a little extra money and you get like the ultimate edition of the game or whatever. Like Call of Duty is pay $30 and you get the ultimate edition. I think it was 15 for like the special edition of Hi-Fi Rush. So if there's like an ultimate edition of Avowed, maybe I'll probably go ahead and pay the extra whatever it is, because it's probably going to be like $20-$30. And get to. They probably do the same thing. You get to play it 3 days early or 4 days early, whatever it is. And
Yeah. But since it comes out like a couple days on my birthday, you just have to buy it for me. Even if there's just a regular edition, I want you to just buy it.
oh my God. Oh yeah, I forget your birthday's in February.
It's rude.
I would like to forget. That's why. I completely forget.
Rude.
This is the 15th, right?
Yeah.
Is Valentine's Day the 16th?
14th.
14th. Oh, yours is right after.
And Randy Moss is right before. And together, we're Valentines.
So, yeah. I don't know. Is this a disappointing?
No. It's a good thing. Like, I don't know. Everyone always bitches about backlog, so Xbox is doing something to help you out with your backlog. Whether it's a lie or not, I don't give a shit. Like, we still get to play the game, and like I would probably give more of a shit like if it was like, let's say, Gears. I'd be like, you can't fuck, like, this is like the game I've been waiting all year to play. But Avowed isn't like that game for me. Like, I was looking forward to it, and in a less crowded release window, I will probably be able, not probably, I will be able to spend more time with it. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, no. I'm looking at it as a good thing because
Yeah, like I don't think any, like, I don't know. There's probably like these Avowed super fans out there that are super looking forward to it. So it sucks for them because that would probably be their game to play. But it's smart for Microsoft because if they want to try to make it, you kind of have to look at it as the long term play or plan. Because if Avowed comes out and it, because there's too much shit to play, like, you're not going to get an Avowed 2 because they'll look at the download numbers of like it just wasn't worth it. Like, it was a good game, but like, I don't know, it wasn't there. Like, you don't want a Titanfall 2 situation where you release a game in between. Like, I know it's like it's not going to be in between similar games, but like, you don't want to have Titanfall 2 where it came out between Call of Duty and Battlefield, and it's just like, even though Titanfall 2 is a superior game, no one played it just because it just didn't have the brand recognition or whatever. So you'll get more people to come play Avowed in February. So it's smart. Like you said, Indiana Jones is a known. Like, everyone knows Indiana. Not everyone, but like most people have heard of Indiana Jones because of the movie. So it's the smart one to push.
yeah, no, that one's definitely the one that you want to
Yeah.
give us to give it the best chance possible to perform as best as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And putting it in, especially I think during like February, where like, because especially the holiday season where everyone's gonna buy a bunch of games and spend the most money. Yeah, you want to release games during that time because of people going out and buying games and whatnot or
But
whatever.
like, Yeah, but I always remember like working at GameStop. Like, talk more about just a little bit about GameStop later. But like, I was remember working at GameStop at the beginning of the year. People would come in, they'd be like, "What's coming out right now? What's coming out?" I'm like, "Fuck all, man!" Like, you have like some random titles, but like I don't know. Usually, like February, there's like fuck all that's coming out. Like I'm like, you gotta wait till like March or April for like anything new. Like everything that was like decent coming out came out in November
Hmm.
or early December. Like there's nothing coming out. Like so yeah, like it's smart. So now like there'll be something to like you'll have something in February. Like you'll be burnt out. Everyone's gonna be burnt out playing Call of Duty, and they'll be like, "Oh shit! Like this new game to play on Game Pass sounds good. Let's give it a shot."
Yep.
But I swear to God, if Avowed comes out now, and or like when it comes out in February, if that shit's buggy, I'm gonna like lose my mind. Like you guys are giving an extra few
Yeah,
months,
that's the thing. If it comes out and there's like issues with it, like
which it shouldn't
yeah,
because it's like it's not even a multiplayer game. Like you guys, this shit should be pretty finely tuned. But no, but yeah, no, it's good.
all right.
It's Gucci fan.
So let's move on to these last two, and we're unfortunately ending the show with the last two topics as downers. Um, yeah, there's no real transition. So the first one of these last two, Game Informer, they're shutting down
What,
magazine that.
33 years?
So let's pull this up. They put out a tweet or social media post. The final level farewell from Game Informer. After 33 thrilling years of bringing you the latest news, reviews, and insights from the ever evolving world of gaming, it is with a heavy heart that we announce the closure of Game Informer. From the early days of pixelated adventures to today's immersive virtual realms, we've been honored to share this incredible journey with you, our loyal readers. Our loyal readers. While our presses may stop, the passion for gaming that we've cultivated together will continue to live on. Thank you for being part of our epic quest, and may your own gaming adventures never end. Game Informer. So that's you know the statement they put out. Um, and I'm actually legitimately like sad over this. Um, Probably because you said it. We were going to talk about GameStop, but they're intrinsically tied to GameStop because of if you had the membership, you got a Game Informer
Mm-hmm.
subscription. So I
Yeah, look, it is
remember,
30. It's 30. They were open for 33 years. So
yeah. So I remember. I don't know how long GameStop has owned them, but I know that it's been at least over 20 of those years,
yeah.
maybe more. Yeah, maybe 25 years something. Because I remember, being in high school and I had a GameStop GameStop membership, and so I had a Game Informer subscription, and just getting those magazines every year or every month or whatever. I actually sometimes was really looking forward to them because they had they would let you know ahead of time like what they're going to talk about or what's the cover story or what the cover is going to look like. And some of them I was like, oh yeah, I want that magazine. Like
Mm-hmm.
like when they talked about I think Gears of War 2, the cover was cool. There's a Mega Man cover. Like yeah,
I
just like
still have a shit ton of. I'm going over to my bookshelf. I have a shit ton of Game Informers still.
I have no Game Informers at all with me.
That's too bad.
I know.
I
I'm like,
have
yeah.
I've God of War 2018. There's two of them, two different covers. I've God of War 3, Gears 2, like the red
It's the red, right?
silhouette.
Because
It's the
there was a
red.
red one, but there was a gray one, wasn't there?
There might be. I should give you this one. I have the Game Informer for Gears Judgment. I have the Baird and the Cole. I should give you
Oh
the
shit.
Baird one. Um, Gears 3. I have 2 Gears 3 ones. I have 2 Gears 3s. Interesting. So I give you that. I have Gears 4. I have Injustice, just because Batman.
Gears 4 had wasn't that one? It was just like it was black with like JD's silhouette or something, and the Lancer for Game Informer.
Yeah, but then Kate and Dell are on it too.
Oh, okay, so it's that. Okay, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Yeah, because it's like an
Yeah,
achievement art that they have in the game.
yeah. And I have Batman Arkham Origins, 2 Arkham Knight different ones. They did different covers, and
Oh, because some
then
of those covers were pretty cool. Like
yeah, and then
especially
Arkham City.
because they started
Oh
like
yeah, I kept especially for all the Gears ones. I don't have so yeah. The only I don't know if they did a cover for Gears 1.
yes, they did.
Yeah, so I
It was
don't.
that
I
old like I don't know if you remember that old like Marcus Phoenix model they had, like the gaming model they had, and it's like he's like fighting with a berserker. Like I don't know if you can
Oh
picture that.
yeah,
That was what they. That was the for Gears 1.
gotcha. Yeah, but so yeah, I have a decent collection of Game Informers. Like not bad, but yeah. So it's kind of it's a bummer that they're not going to be around.
No, yeah, like I said,
Like
like this, I'm legitimately. It might be because of like I just have so many memories of like when a new magazine came in, I'd sit
yeah,
down
it's
and
like
read through it.
yeah. Well, it's like because Nintendo Power they shut down too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So it's just kind of like
there was like the
it's just
official
like
Xbox magazine is gone.
yeah. Like I get magazines aren't
It's a dying.
the way
It's like a
it's
dying
dying,
medium
but it just
form.
like sucks they can't. I know it sucks they like. I mean, we'll talk about like how. I mean, like you were going to talk about how IGN about like their comment, but it's like it sucks that these places weren't able to like transition to just doing like online reviews. Like it sucks they couldn't just be an online outlet. Like Game Informer
I mean,
still
there is a
does like
website.
yeah, but Game Informer like it sounds like the web like are like I don't think
Oh,
they're
the
going to be updating the
website's been
website.
nuked. No, the website's been nuked. Literally, the
Yeah.
website is the statement they put out.
Yeah. So it's just bummed they can't even operate just as a website doing reviews and posting news. Like, yeah, maybe Game it sucks that Game Informer just as the magazine, like, hey, we're not gonna do like magazines, but we'll still do like reviews and previews and you can still come to our website for that. So it sucks that it couldn't continue as that. So that's the part that's like kind of sucks because I don't need you to send me a whole like an email and then there's like a digital magazine. But it'd be cool if I could still go to your website and Game Informer just like, oh, we have the new preview on Avowed. Like we got our hands like a hands-on preview of Avowed. Like come check it out. So it just sucks that it can't continue as that. But
I
yeah, it's
used
a
to love
bummer.
it too. Like I think I'm pretty sure it was every April where they had Game Enforcer like inside the magazine, and it was just like made up shit.
Yeah.
Like oh man, yeah, and then yeah, it's just it's sad because like I said, yeah, again, I have a lot of memories of because that's the thing too. It wasn't like oh I got the new magazine and read it and then that was it. Like I would read through the magazine probably a few times, you know, every month that I would get one because I just wanted to read up on, especially like if it was like yeah when the Gears 2 one came out, the Gears 3 specifically, yeah, Gears of War 3 when they were like we're gonna talk about that. I read through their covers or through, their coverage of it like so much. Like when it was like, oh yeah, I wanna I wanna know. I wanna know more about what's gonna happen. I think the Grand
Mm-hmm.
Theft Auto 4 was like another one that I was like super into for some reason. I don't know why, because it's not like I was thinking back. I don't think I was like super looking forward to uh, Grand Theft Auto 4. But for some reason, I did read through that issue a lot. Yeah, it's just. Oh, you know which one I really did read through a lot was the when they did for Skyrim, the coverage for Skyrim. That was another one
Yeah.
because the Game Informer, if I'm thinking about it correctly, it was literally just that dragon, the cover for the game, that dragon symbol, and it said like
Yeah, it was.
game.
Yeah, just the Skyrim dragon symbol,
So yeah, like
the box art, essentially.
and then yeah, oh the Mega Man one was the Mega Man one was my favorite because it was like when you opened it up, it was like a bunch of different Mega Man characters, like Mega Man, and yeah, oh man, I wish I still had that art that issue because
Yeah, I just looked on like eBay because I was like curious, like how much like like $10-12 to buy like the first Gears one. So you could probably get on eBay. You can probably look, and someone's probably got the Mega Man one. Probably get it for around like $10 or something.
probably. Probably. But yeah. Oh, actually, one of the funniest things, and we were talking about this before we started recording, is so like IGN did a retweet, right? It was like a retweet of the of Game Informer's tweet, and it's like had a heart emoji,
Mm-hmm.
just like oh, like oh, sending love kind of shit or whatever. The replies to IGN's tweet, like hilarious. Like obviously, I don't remember like every last one off the top of my head and whatever, but like the general gist or whatever of it all.
The general vibe was like,
I
please
can
kill yourself,
IGN be
IGN.
next?
Like,
Can IGN be
not
next?
like not. So I should not like kill yourself, people that work at IGN, but it's like, can the IGN entity at itself be killed?
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's just like can IGN be next? Like
Yeah.
I saw some people were saying like "fuck you, you caused this," stuff like that. People are sad about Game Informer being gone. Clearly, people would not be sad if IGN went the way of the
Yeah.
dodo.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean that
How
makes
did I
sense.
like? Yeah, but like, how did IGN cause this though?
Um, well, recently, like
'Cause you,
IGN, I think what people, I think that what people are maybe not referring to, but like what they mean is that because like recently IGN just purchased, I forgot the name of the company, but the company owned like Eurogamer and like a bunch of other ones, and then like they just shut a bunch of those like smaller sites and other ones down.
gotcha.
Essentially, it's just like they're kind of creating a monopoly on this stuff. Because like when you really think about like the websites, gaming media, like what do we have? We have IGN, GameSpot, Kotaku, but like
Yeah.
yeah, Eurogamer. We're like it's slowly like we're losing a lot of them. Yeah, because what was the one that I don't remember what it was called that it got shut down recently. It was from Vice. It was I think they ended up just calling it Vice Games, or it was called Vice Games at first, and then they called it something else or something. But that one got shut down. Um, just over the years, yeah, like a lot of them are just like they're gone. I think like rock paper shotgun or something is gone. It's just a yeah. I mean, but see, I'm not gonna just like blame IGN. Like yeah, it sucks that it does seem like they're kind of like part of the problem with creating a monopoly almost. But like websites are, or gaming media in general is like kind of a dying breed because honestly, if you want to go for gaming stuff, I mean, you
Just go to
know,
YouTube.
you go to YouTube and Twitter, like
Mm-hmm.
unless you really want cover. But that's the thing, like I don't need to go to IGN if I'm like, oh, I want coverage of the next, like, you know, Gears of War game. Like, I don't need to go to IGN for that. I can go to, you know, some YouTubers. They'll probably have coverage when the next Gears of War game comes out, or like there's a preview, because yeah, even YouTubers are getting, perks like that and everything. And if a game gets announced, I don't need to go to IGN. Most of the times, like, I can just go on Twitter and people are either talking about it, or the company is just like, they're putting out tweets and stuff. So I don't really need to go to gaming media for that. But especially too, like, the way gaming media has gotten, where it seems like they've been more like antagonistic toward gamers. I mean, I remember, what was it, 10 years ago, when, like, every website, I'm not being hyperbolic here. Every website basically had the same, like, article slash headline, where it's like, we need to retire the word gamer, something like that, to that effect. Like, it was weird. It was just, it was stupid. Like, they seem to be very, like, against, like, what you would consider the typical quote unquote gamer. And so I think that's, especially IGN. IGN is very, like almost anti-consumer with the way they they will, like, reply to people on social media, or the way that people that work for them, work for IGN, like, replies and, like, talks to people and replies to people on social media. It's, you know that's why IGN, a lot of people are like, hey, can you be next?
Yeah. Because yeah, we have YouTubers and stuff that, I mean, like you said, YouTubers and Twitter is, I feel like, and then that's way less overhead and cost. So I mean, that's why, unfortunately, I have these people like Game Informer going away. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe Game Informer missed the chance. Maybe they should have, like, I don't know, pushed more of their YouTube channel or something. I don't know.
I think at this point, for the gaming media, like, if they try to, if a or gaming media company tries to be more online, I just don't think you can do it now. With, like, you have to catch, maybe GameSpot, but that, like, it just doesn't seem like it's gonna, like, it could happen. And even GameSpot is, like, nowhere near. It almost seems like it's just IGN. So I think it's hard to carve out a spot for yourself with the online gaming media stuff. Like, and like you said, with YouTubers and everything, the rise of, like, individual YouTubers, or smaller, like, quote unquote companies, like Kind of Funny, or Last Stand Media. But shit, even, like, some of the other gaming, like, uh, YouTube channels, like, are that were big at one point, are, like, gone. That were either, even backed by, like, Rooster Teeth. I mean, Rooster Teeth did more than just games coverage, but they had their own, like, dedicated channel for games coverage. But Rooster Teeth is gone. You know, like, it's just hard in the online space to have your own spot when there's just so much just vying for that, what little space they can get. I mean, I know, yeah, we do, a gaming podcast and everything, but, like, I mean, we're not trying to be that, like, that huge, so I think we're fine. But obviously, when you're a company like Game Informer, it can't be like us, where it's just like, oh, it's just a thing we just kind of do on the side, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but yeah, no, Game Informer. They will no longer be around.
Rip.
Yeah. And sad day.
Mm-hmm.
But doesn't get better from here in the news. So let's go ahead and talk about the last thing. And this was this was not this was the biggest thing over the last week. Bungie laid off 220 people, roughly 17% of their employees. But there's also been like some people are moving from Bungie to Sony internally to form a new studio, and some were moving to other studios within Sony. Um, okay, there's a lot actually that I'm gonna have to go through because what was it? It was like 4 days ago or something, 4 or 5 days ago when this happened. But since then, a lot has come out, like just a lot. So ever since then, there's been the reports that like the final shape expansion was it sold poorly. It didn't sell enough for Sony to be like, okay, well, you guys, okay, so this is what I mean. There's a lot of it. A little bit of backstory on this. When Sony bought Bungie, they part of that agreement was that Bungie was still going to be independent, even though they're owned by Sony. For all intents and purposes, they're still independent in their own like way. That's why when they announced Marathon, like it's still gonna come to like Xbox and things like that. It looked like that they're just a company that's owned by Sony, but they can do whatever they want. But they had to be profitable. If at a certain point they were showing they weren't going to be profitable, Sony was going to take over completely. And that's what it looks like is happening since the final shape didn't sell well enough, which is kind of just not great for Bungie in more than just like it didn't sell well, because it was Destiny 2 was according to another report, Destiny 2 was the 5th highest revenue generating title for June of 2024. So in all of the games that make whatever amount of money, it made more than like all but 4. And yet the final shape still didn't sell well enough. Another report that had come out, apparently this was just in the works already before even the final shape. So maybe this was just going to happen regardless. Not only that, but another report has came out, and Bungie's been in trouble for years, apparently. If I could find this specific, here we go. It looks like Bungie oversold itself and made it seem bigger than what it was to Sony when they were purchased, and that according to employees within Bungie, if they wouldn't have sold to Sony, the alternate history is insolvency, which I don't know if many people know what that means, but like for lack of better words or whatever, they're fucked. They were gonna go under. They owed too much money and everything. And then a couple days after this, another report that apparently Microsoft was looking to buy back Bungie, like they were gonna bring them back. but they were flagged as a high burn rate. Sony, and so it looked like Sony was just like, you know what, it's fine. We think this will work. And so it's clearly not worked. They have not been making money. And Sony is pretty much set to take over completely. And that's, yeah. There's also been some other stuff that apparently the studio head, the CEO or whatever, Pete Parsons, like he bought a shit ton of classic cars. I don't know. That's something else. It's just that coming out is just kind of like people are like, wow, really, dude? You had to lay off a bunch of people, but you sure got your cars. Like I said, there's a lot to like sort through with all this that's been going on. But yeah, the Cliff Notes, they haven't been making money for years. Final Shape DLC sold less than Lightfall, which was already putting them on creaky ground or whatever. And Sony is now about to take over because that was the agreement. That if they couldn't be profitable, Sony was going to take over.
Yeah, this seems like the CEO. Like, I mean, he saw the writing on the wall, and this was his last chance to get a nice fat paycheck. So that's why people are understandably pissed about the going to show people his fancy car collection, because it's just like, okay, dude, like, I'm happy for you that you got your fancy cars, but like, now we're gonna be, because I feel like, not feel like, but what I saw is like Bungie's gonna kind of just be overseeing like other live service games. They're gonna be like how to make them profitable. That's like their new job.
Well, I mean, there have already been. Apparently, that's why the Last of Us, like live service,
because they said it wasn't. Yeah, they said it wasn't gonna do well because there wasn't enough monetary shit.
Yeah, but clearly, like even Bungie doesn't seem to know what the fuck to do when it comes to live service because they're not making enough money to just to stay afloat apparently. And yeah, this is just not good for Bungie like at all. I think so. My opinion on this, I think Bungie is not long for the gaming world. I think at some point either they're going to completely shutter them and lay off everyone, or they're just going to be completely absorbed into the Sony, like into just the Sony household. Whether that's like the Bungie name is gone and all the employees get to go to another studio, or maybe the Bungie name stays, but they're just not the same Bungie. Bungie as we know it is gone, or Bungie as you knew it is just dead. And I don't know. I mean, like, Bungie's been around forever. They've obviously, they've made games that were popular, we'll say. It's just a very just like weird situation all around. Or maybe not weird, but the situation is obviously just not great, we'll say. Because part of what the thing with Bungie was like, everyone's always tried to, what's the word? Give them the benefit of the doubt up until recently, or like the past couple of years. Because when they, obviously we all know that Microsoft owned them for a long time, but then they went independent, and everyone was saying, well, it was because of Microsoft. That's why they had to go independent. They couldn't work with Microsoft. So then they went into that deal with Activision to create Destiny, or to publish Destiny. and then they split from Activision. Obviously, they kept the Destiny name; it was their IP and everything. But everyone was saying that, oh, Activision was the problem. Activision was the problem. Now they're owned by Sony, and the same situation or the same thing is just happening with not, they're not making enough money. Their monetary shit is just, very harsh for some people. And even like the final, or not the final shit, like the Lightfall DLC or expansion was not great. Like they're not making popular decisions for their customer base. So maybe it was just always been Bungie that's the issue. Like, I don't know. You just can't. After a certain point, maybe it's not who you're dating; it's you. um,
Yeah. Well, it's like if Bungie can't even be fucking profitable with their live service shit, like who the fuck can, you know?
I mean, Call of Duty is.
I know. But so yeah, like call it so like it's just like at what point are we just like gonna look at this shit and finally like realize that live service is like can we not with this shit, you know?
So, other things that have come out since this that specifically has to do with Destiny. Apparently, they were in the process of making a Destiny 3, and that's just canceled now.
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
Yeah, and as for like Destiny 2, it's still apparently set to be receiving, like they're still going to work on it, but it's going to be significantly scaled back apparently. So this is just a rumor. It's nothing like concrete, but they're just the so the rumored plan is that they're going to receive two DLC or two content packs every year, and only two seasons. So they'll be 6 months long, 6 months each, and there's not going to be like no week to week story beats like we've been getting, and there's just normal activities will still be there, but what we've been doing where we get a yearly like big expansion doesn't look like it's going to be the thing anymore. And the seasonal content that we're getting where we get week to week story missions or story cutscenes doesn't look like it's going to be the thing. It's probably going to be like how the first Destiny and the second Destiny, like their first set of DLCs, where they had the first one was what, the Dark Below and House of Wolves, where they weren't big expansions, but they had story stuff. And then Destiny 2 was Curse of Osiris and Warmind. There were smaller, specifically like Warmind, I think, had like 3 story missions, and that was it, or something. Stuff that you could get done in like an hour. Um, Maybe that's most likely what they're gonna do. But who knows how long they'll even keep doing that, because apparently Destiny has not been making money. I'm just, I don't know. It's not the situation obviously Bungie wants to be in, but they have been kind of making, I don't want to say that they've been making terrible decisions. It's not necessarily terrible decisions, maybe, but they're not popular. And it causes people to lash out. And then that causes, it's a ripple effect. Other people see it and they're like, yeah, that is not something I want, or that is something I don't like. And then when it seems like they can do stuff to get the goodwill back, they kind of screw it up. Even even as recently with as they did with the Final Shape. Everyone loved the Final Shape expansion because it was the culmination of the Light and Darkness saga. It was a good story, this, and that. And then they promised us, oh, we're not doing seasonal content like that anymore, or the seasonal story stuff. Now it's called episodes. But the episodes are basically still the seasonal stuff, and it is still just like, okay, uh, here's a story mission. Now go do like this seasonal activity where you're like fighting just a bunch of waves of monster enemies, and then you collect some stuff, and then go ahead and talk to someone, and you get more story beats. That's basically just the same thing they were doing, and it wasn't,
Interesting.
huh?
It's interesting.
Yeah,
Just on like
it just wasn't popular. People didn't want that. They wanted something more, and they didn't really change it up. So, I mean, you know, I don't know how they're gonna do it if everything gets scaled back like that with the content they release and everything. I don't see how Destiny can last any longer. Like past maybe a couple of years, and I don't know. Like the community that Destiny has cultivated. Like I'm a Destiny player. I was playing a little bit earlier today. There's a very hardcore contingent of people who play Destiny. Hell, there's people that their whole YouTube channels dedicated to talking about Destiny, whether it's news or lore, or news and lore of Destiny, because the Destiny lore is very rich. It's very deep. So yeah, I don't know. This just seems like I don't know, I'm like taking up all the conversation basically. I just think that this is probably a snowball rolling down a hill that leads to Destiny, and I think even Bungie probably being a thing of the past. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've been kind of taking over the conversation. What I want to get what your thoughts are for this.
I mean, it's I don't know. Like I kind of said it a little bit earlier. Like it's sad that like this is kind of the state that Bungie's in right now, but kind of dug themselves into this fucking hole. Like I mean, like you said, like you're more up to date on what's going on daily in the Bungie and Destiny world. So I mean, it's fine that you were the one like mainly talking about it because I mean it affects the game that you like. So um, yeah, like I don't know, it sucks, but I mean they're just gonna like yeah, like so is Destiny 3 even gonna happen? Is like it sucks for people that are in the Destiny 2 ecosystem, like that you're saying like, oh, seasons are gonna be 6 months long. Because how long are they like right now?
Um, I mean it's fluctuated because like we had one that I think was like 6 months long, the season of the Wish, that was leading up to the final shape. But I mean there was supposed to be like 4 a year, so like 3 months.
Gotcha. So yeah, like I don't know. It sucks for you guys that like for a game that you guys love is not going to be supported because Bungie ran it in the ground and didn't make it profitable. And like I said, like if Call of Duty is like the only quote unquote live service game that can be profitable, like can we stop doing this shit? Because like let's get more just like just worry about making good single player games or just multiplayer games that don't need like if you have live servicey stuff in them, like it's not like if you don't have it, it's not gonna like kill your brand. You know,
Yeah. I
like if your brand needs live service to survive, you might be cooked at this point. Like just in this gaming landscape.
I think.
I don't know.
Well, the thing is, I don't think that it's live service isn't like the way to go or something like that. I think live service only really works for certain style of game. When your game is so story heavy, like a Destiny, I think live service cannot be the way you can sustain it like that. I mean, it is in obviously inherently like live service or whatever. I mean, it is inherently live service just because of the nature of the game. It's a persistent online world or whatever. But to worry, like, to do things where you have to worry about the monetization and things like that, they should have. It probably can't be where you're wasting resources on that. Like, you have to have complete and utter just focus on story and activities in the game.
Yeah.
And and if you are going to do stuff where like, oh yeah, we're gonna have like, you could buy cosmetics and things like that. It has to be such a small team that they barely like the production of cosmetics is almost non-existent because that's not what is going to keep your game. It works in a game like Call of Duty, for like Warzone. Because what are you doing? It's just the battle
Yeah, and even
royale
then
stuff.
in Warzone, it's like you barely even get to see your characters again. It's like if you're like, oh, I'm playing as Homelander, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
where
But
is he?
like, but what are you
You see
doing
his
in Call of
hand.
Duty? But what are you doing in Call of Duty? It's either you're playing, capture the flag, team deathmatch, domination, whatever, or you're playing the battle royale. It's a
Yeah,
very specific, like, you do this over and 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 over. So like cosmetics changes it up. Like, oh, now I'm playing as Homelander. Um, Now I'm playing like I have a Spawn skin in Call of Duty or whatever. That I guess apparently is not going to work in Black Ops 6, whatever. Um, or a game like Valorant, Overwatch, where it is just this. But in a game like Destiny, it isn't just, oh, there's the Crucible stuff, the PvP aspect. No, there is the strikes, the co-op stuff, the strikes, the raids, story missions. So when certain things aren't popular, you have to obviously, fix that, change it a little bit to make it popular or to, quote
hmm
unquote, do right by your customer base. And like now, for me, honestly, I don't care. The way they did the seasonal stuff, I was actually kind of fine with it. Where we got one like story mission or whatever, or story cutscene a week, and then you just have to do the seasonal thing. Honestly, I was fine with that. But I do see why it wasn't a popular like way to go. Because it is just like, oh, so okay, we move the story forward this week. Now just go do this thing where you're like fighting a bunch of enemies to collect whatever the seasonal like thing is. Like it's right now it's for their what season of the Echoes, right? Yeah. It's called like Radiolaria. Like this, you're collecting this stuff called Radiolaria. But like last season it was you're collecting shards or something. I don't know what it was exactly to what to then get to rescue a dragon egg for this week, and so forth, stuff like that. So it is essentially the same thing, where you're just like doing you're going through this and you're just moving through an area, killing a bunch of enemies until you fight a boss at the end. It's essentially the strikes, but not really the strikes. And like I said, I'm fine with that, but I understand why it's not popular. So there needed to be like more like activities added in. There needed to be like things changed up. Not just like, okay, now we have like our Halloween event, and now we have like our Thanksgiving event or whatever. Or the Olympics are happening, we have our Guardian Games event. Things like that. The holiday stuff. Because obviously the holiday stuff only happens around that time. The holiday, whether it's Christmas, Thanksgiving. I think they're only really Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween. I don't think they have like an Easter thing or anything like that. On the Guardian Games, their Olympics stuff, basically. And yeah, like there wasn't enough change, like with how the activities were, but they sure as hell were like, oh yeah, here's some more cosmetics that you can buy.
Gotta get that money.
Yeah. That's why I don't think Destiny is going to last that much longer. Because they have things too that were popular that they've just never brought back. Like in Destiny 1, they had a racing mode, the Sparrow Racing. They've never brought that back in Destiny 2. And it's been something that people have wanted for so long. Like they could have tried to do, like, yeah, I understand that it probably takes a lot of work, or no, not probably. It would take a lot of work and maybe make the game bigger, but like, well, Call of Duty's already like 200 gigs, getting closer to 300, 250 right now or something, right? Or 270 something for the next game, whatever it is. So if like Destiny has to become like a 300 gig game, fine. If people really want to play Destiny, they're gonna install all that. I know I would be like, fuck it, I have to have 300 gigs worth of Destiny. But like, there's stuff that people want that if they just said, fuck it, we're gonna, it is gonna change a lot of the game, but we're gonna put the work in to make it possible. Bring back Sparrow Racing. Like I understand, like you have to make it a little like work on like the sparrows, their speeders or whatever, so that way it's not just like everyone has the same speed or whatever it is. Like you can make different ones for whatever, but it would be something that people would love to have back. People have wanted space battles because we have those ships that you can get, and there's even ships you can buy. But people have wanted space battles. If they put in the work, that could be a huge ass update where it's like now we have space battles.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. And it's not like they don't know what they're doing. Like, how would they do it? They've never done that before. They did that in Halo Reach. They had a space battle level. So you just use that as your framework. I understand that, yeah, it takes a lot of work to do things like that. But those are things that people would be like, fuck yeah, now I want to play more Destiny. Instead, we're like, oh, well, you want to buy some cosmetics so you look like Geralt of Rivia or whatever? Some Witcher cosmetics? I bought the Ghostbusters cosmetic stuff, but yeah. Or like,
that's 'cause you're a Ghostbuster whore.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's, yeah. They focused on the wrong stuff. And I think people would have been fine, too, if the seasonal content was still like that, where it's just week to week. If they were like, oh yeah, this season we're adding in Sparrow Racing, and it stays. And then all of a sudden you get like, the next season there's nothing but like, hey, this season right before the final shape, we're adding in space battles. So now you can fight each other in space for the PvP. You know? And like
Mm-hmm.
when you play the PvP, there's only like 3 modes. Like that would please a lot of their fans too. If it's like, okay, now we have, because they basically only have like team deathmatch and domination, really, variants of it. But it's like, they can add other things to, you know, I mean, they're Bungie. Look at Halo. They made Halo. Look at the game types in Halo that if if they just tweaked it a little bit, would work in Destiny. But now you have powers, the superpowers, whatever. They have stuff like the Team Skull mode or whatever it was, Griffball, that zombie mode. It's called zombies, right? Whatever it is, or not zombies, but like
Yeah, something
infection,
like that.
infection, infection. They could have like done those things, and you know what? Can you imagine if like they're like, hey, we're adding maybe not call it infection, but we're what's the name of the what? We're adding in a mode called Hive. So now it's like, oh yeah, you become one of the Hive. They're basically zombies anyway. So it's like, oh, when someone dies, now you become one of those. I forgot what they're called or whatever. The thralls. Or call it thrall or whatever. It's basically infection. I understand it takes work because now you got to make a playable model of that. But that's a popular thing. That if they were like, oh yeah, we got this new infection mode, people will be like, holy fuck. Well, now I gotta go play some Destiny. It just seems like they didn't want to. They didn't want to try and maybe put in the work to do these things, to add in stuff that if they did, that people have been asking for, that if they put these things in, it would have made Destiny maybe even more popular than it is right now, or maybe just more popular or whatever, and maybe even just a lot more profitable, or I guess profitable in general. I don't know. Like I said, yeah, I'm dominating this conversation, obviously because yeah, I'm the Destiny player in the group,
You're a
and
Destiny loser.
yeah, like, and I'm kind of not rambling, but yeah, it is just this. This is what these are things that they could have been doing that people have been asking for that they just never did. It seems like they could have just at least attempted or said, "Hey, you know what? We're gonna look into it." But I don't know. I don't think I got any more on that, and I'm assuming you probably don't really have any more, right?
No, like I said, like just overall, it's a bummer for people like you guys. I mean, you went into all the things because you knew the specifics of like the stuff that they like the community has been asking for, and instead they've been focusing on cosmetics. And obviously that led to people stop playing because like why would I come back and play the final shape and first light, was it right?
Uh,
Or is that wrong?
Lightfall.
Yeah, like why would I come back and play these new expansions? Like you're just like, yeah, it's gonna be some new content now, but like it's like new story based missions. Like we want more, like we want like new features, like new game modes, not just like new
They
story
want
based
we
missions.
want new activities, new things to do in the game besides just
Yeah, like
shoot each other and shoot enemies.
yeah, yeah. So if they would add a couple space battles or added in like the speed racing thing, is just like a thing you do on just like a random planet. Like, oh, there's a speed racing or the like
Yeah, the sparrow
whatever
racing.
the motorbike. Yeah, just do the sparrow racing on the on a random planet, like as just like a goof around thing. Um, yeah, I don't know. Because hell, you could even fucking monetize that. Because like have people pay to have all their like. I feel like you probably could sell a lot more sparrow customization stuff
Mm-hmm.
if you had a game mode directly related
Well, no, but
to
see, that's what I'm saying.
Sparrows.
Like they're sure as hell doing like selling you because they sell sparrows, they sell
Yeah,
ships
but that's what I'm
too.
saying. But like, I'm sure you could sell a lot more of that shit if there was like, because it's like, I don't know, like if you just like think of Call of Duty and like there's only a skin that you can only use, but like you can only essentially with the Sparrow like or the sheer ship, you see it in pause menus. Imagine if it was like, oh, you can buy this Homelander skin, but it's only while you're in the loadout screen. You can't actually play it in game, but you'll look like Homelander like on your home screen. People are
Yeah,
like, why the
see what
fuck
you're
would I
talking
buy
about
that?
is what you're talking about is exactly one of the issues with like why
Yeah,
people have been begging for like space battles because you're right, it is essentially just a loading screen. Like
yeah. Because like,
I
why would I pay? At
yeah
least with the sparrows, you can ride on them. So it's like, but like, imagine like, I mean, I'm one of the people who I probably buy the least micro. I'm probably in like the lowest 1% of buying microtransaction stuff. I don't. I can't even remember the last time I paid for a microtransaction. I fucking hate paying for those things. Um,
probably Gears 5 to get that gold skin or purple skin or whatever it was and for your guns.
I doubt I even paid for that. I had so much fucking currency. I doubt I even paid for that
You're
because it
probably
wasn't
right.
part of like a pack. I think I might have bought some XP. Like I bought a couple like before they were just doing double XP, but then I was able to like rack up like
Yeah.
XP for a while. So I think so. Yeah, like Gears 5, I bought like some double XP, which even then I was like still kind of pissed. But I was like, I spent so many hours, hundreds of hours in this game. I'll pay $5 to get some double XP. But yeah, that's probably the last time, and that came out pre-COVID. So the last microtransaction thing that I bought was pre-COVID.
Yeah, because I don't think I
But like,
swear you have not purchased any, like you haven't got anything for Call of Duty for sure. And
no, because you always make fun of me because I'm like,
your
I don't even
your
bother customizing. I
your
don't even
character,
bother
you have the
customizing it.
basic ass fucking just like regular ass soldier. Oh
I know.
yeah,
I'm just like,
when
fuck
we
it.
were playing, me and the spawn suit, JJ and the fucking like the Diablo, whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're just this regular ass soldier.
Yeah, fuck
It's
you
the
guys. I'm not.
opposite. It's the opposite of that one meme that has like the clown dude with the soldiers. It's the
Yeah,
opposite of that.
yeah. But yeah, so I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not gonna fucking pay you guys $10 for a fucking skin. That's the thing is too. Maybe they made these things fucking cheaper, like, but like $10 for a fucking like skin in Call of Duty. I'm like, But if it was like $2 or something like that, maybe even four, I'd be like, maybe we'll see. Like for a skin, like because like it's just not a game that I play very much. So just like I'm like, fuck that shit. I'm not paying for that. But yeah, there's microtransactions in general. But I know I would definitely be more inclined to buy something that's just not used on a pause screen, or if there was a specific game mode dedicated to everyone seeing like my sparrow. Like I know I would definitely be more inclined
Or if
to
like they had the
purchase that.
space battles, and I could actually fly around my Ecto-1 ship in a space
Mm-hmm.
fight, that would be really cool. Yeah.
So it's just a bummer.
Yep. It's yeah. I don't know. We'll see what happens from this point on and everything. But yeah, it's not looking great for Bungie and Destiny. So,
Yeah.
but I think that's definitely going to do it for this week. We've we've been talking about all this stuff for a couple hours now. I think we're done a good enough talk. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired talking to you.
Oh my god. All right. All right. Like I said, that's gonna do it for this week. Uh, we'll be back next week. Probably not gonna have as much. You know what? I said this last week. I'm like, we'll see how big the stories are, and man, we got some huge stories. So we'll see what the week brings us by the next episode. But yeah, I've been your host, To Be To Kill You, Devin.
See you, nerds.
All right. And until next time, we'll catch you later.